In this video, I'm going to show you how easy it is to make a kid's apron out of some leftover blue jeans. These are the leg panels that I've cut apart, and I've got the big back pocket cut apart, but I'm going to show you step by step how to make a kid's apron with just some jean scraps. So you're going to need some jean scraps, you're going to need thread and a lining piece, and I'm using some navy for these boys' aprons. And they're just not hard at all to make, and I'll show you how easy it is step by step. You're going to need to make a neckband and 2 tie straps for this project, and then just sew everything together. So this is for my grandsons. They love to help their mom in the kitchen and cook, so I wanted to make them some little denim aprons. So there are 4 of them, and I started with the 2 younger ones. Their mom sent me their measurements, and so I've got these 2 made. Now I'm just putting the lining on the top, and we're going to pin all the way around and sew. So it's an easy process, and when we make the girls' apron, I'll show you step by step how to put together a children's apron. Now this is part 1 of my Christmas apron making workshop. Part 2, I've got some adult aprons I'm making, along with some feed sack aprons that are waterproof, and they're great. So this is part 1. This is just for the children. And this is a great way to use up scraps because these are small pieces. Now here is the one for the grandson, so let's get started on the one for the girl. So here is my 2 leg panels. I've got some lace, I've got some leftover pink roses, and I've got the pocket. So we're going to make a really frilly little girl's denim apron. First step was to take those 2 pieces and using a 5/8 inch seam, sew those 2 pieces together and press open the seam. Now I love to press when I sew. I want everything to be nice and smooth, so I set my ironing board right up beside the sewing machine. Right, I've folded it back over. I'm going to measure 5 inches from that end, and that's going to be the top part of our apron that fits across the chest. This one needs to be 19 inches long, and so I measured at the top of the neck 5 inches, so it will be a total of 10 inches across. Then I'm going to go down. This will go under the arm, and I marked 7 inches. Then I'm just going to take my white pencil and just sketch a curved line from that point under the arm up to the neck. And I just free-handed this, and that's where I'm going to cut and to make the front of our apron. So I kind of drew the line. It looked right to me. Both sides want to cut them to be exactly the same. So there it is. It's a pretty easy step. I'm going to cut this out. Then we're going to open it back up and sew on our pocket. Now you can see there's a 10 inch across the top and goes down up around under the arms. Alright, now I'm taking that big denim pocket that comes off the back of the blue jeans, and we're going to put that right on the front, but we're going to frill it up a little bit. So I've got some pink eyelet lace, and I'm going to fold down one end, and then we're going to just pin it all the way around this pocket. Now once I have it pinned in place, I just use some pink thread and top stitch all the way around the pocket. Alright, I'm just going to take a little pause here in the video. I've been to my grandson's house and tried the aprons on, and here is a tip. When you're sewing in the neckband, make sure before you sew, I did these at 20 inches, and on the younger boys, the smaller ones, they were way too big. On the bigger, taller boys, these worked fine at 20 inches. So what you want to do is measure the neckband, if you can, from where you want it to hang all around your neck to the other side. I want my apron to hang here. Then that is what you will need to use to measure. Now, I'm an adult and this came out at 21. Children are a little bit smaller, but sometimes they have big heads. So my advice is measure. If you have really small children or short children, instead of doing a neckband like this, just do 2 ties, and they can tie and adjust it to their neck. So instead of doing a band, you could do 2 more ties at 24 inches. That would give them enough to go around their neck and you could tie it. So that's just something I found out tonight, so let's move on with the video. Okay, we're going to start working on our neckband, and I have a 20 by 4-inch strip to cut out. I've made a pattern. In part 2 of this video series, I'll show you how I made that pattern when we make adult neckbands. But this one is 20 inches by 4 inches wide. So I'm cutting that out, one of fabric, and then I'm going to cut out another one of fusible interfacing. Now that's just an extra step. You don't have to do that. I kind of like mine to lay nice and flat. So that's why I iron on the fusible interfacing. So I'm cutting out another one. And then we're going to move right on over to our ties that go on the side. So I've cut another strip of fabric. This strip is 24 by 4, and these are going to be our ties. So I'm folding it in half, which is going to make the ties be 2 inches. And I'm just going to cut that right down the middle. So this is 24 by 2 now, because I'm making 2 straps. And I'm going to show you how I like to do my straps. They are kind of thin like spaghetti straps, but they work great. So I'm going to press down both ends about 1/8 of an inch. I don't want to have to worry about sewing a lot and turning, so we're going to do this in one seam. I'm going to turn up the bottom 1/8 of an inch and press all the way across using a nice hot iron. Then I'm going to go back to that top and fold it right down to meet the other seam there. I'm not overlapping, I'm just meeting. Then I'm going to press that. And then I am going to fold it in half and press again. So there are no raw edges anywhere once I fold it down one more time. And press. Then I want to put some clips on that, and we're going to do one seam right down the middle. And that's how I make straps. Alright, back to the neckband. We're going to press that interfacing on. Then we're going to fold it in half, right sides together. And again, I only want to do one seam. I'm not going to worry about the ends of this strap because they will be tucked inside the apron. So I'm just going to do one seam down the long 20-inch side. I'm going to clip this in place, take it over to the sewing machine, make sure I leave a 2 to 3 inch gap in the middle there for turning. Then once I turn it, I top stitch around both sides. And now we're going to pin it in place. Now on this at the top, you want to leave a little over 5/8 inch from the sides and pin it right to the top. And when we sew our top or our back lining on, you won't see that. It gets caught right up in the seam. So I'm going to pin those in place. I've got my straps done. I'm going to also go down a little more than 5/8 of an inch right up to the edge of the side and pin that in place. I'm going to do both of those straps. Then the loose part of the straps I tuck in the pocket so I don't accidentally sew when I sew the lining all the way around. All right, I've got everything pinned in place, and I'm going to tuck that strap in the pocket. Then I cut out another apron using this same pattern, and I did it out of that beautiful floral print that I picked up at Walmart. Those 1 yard little Waverly packs are so great for projects like this. So I am laying it right on top, right sides together, and I'm going to clip it all the way around. I start where my apron straps are, and then I just go all the way around. And you want to leave about 3 inches at the bottom of the apron open so that you can turn this. So just go around, put clips all the way around, and then we're going to go over to the machine and sew all the way around, starting at the bottom and then leaving a 3-inch opening down at the bottom so that we can turn. All right, using a 5/8 inch seam line, I sewed all the way around, and now I'm just going to trim off the excess fabric. I'm going to cut the corners on the diagonal so they'll turn easier, and then we're going to go and snip those curves, just a quick little snip so that they turn better, and it gives a little freedom there in that seam line. Going to go across the top and trim that. Just some little snips right there where it's curved, and then we're going to turn. Now the turning part is fun. You feel like you play in tug of war, but I try to reach up in there and grab the very top of the apron and just start pulling, very gently pulling. That's why you want to leave about a 3 to 4 inch opening at the bottom, just so it's easier to turn. It is a little bulky with the denim, but it's good exercise for the hands. I pull out the neck strap, then I reach in there and get the side straps. Now once everything is out, I take a paintbrush or a knitting needle and push out those corners. You want nice points, so I just reach up in there and push out all the corners. And then we're going to take the iron and we're going to press everything nice and flat, and then go over and top stitch. So I want to make sure that 3-inch hole at the bottom gets caught when I top stitch. So I'm going to press everything. I will pin that shut, and then on the sewing machine I picked kind of a cute curvy stitch pattern to do instead of a straight stitch. Just nice little waves, and there it is. We're going to turn it over and make sure our back side is good. We're going to press that down because this is reversible. She could wear it on the other side if she chose, but just going to press that down a little bit and then pin it in place. Then I go over the whole apron again using a nice decorative top stitch. And here is the finished apron. Now I did add some yo-yo roses to the top there. Look how pretty that neckband is. And the pocket looks so cute with the lace all the way around. And it's reversible, and I love it. I think it's so cute. And here is the plain apron for the grandsons. I did print their name on the inside of it. So I am so tickled with these aprons. So I hope you enjoyed this video. These are easy to make. They're fun. They make great Christmas presents for grandchildren, children, nieces, and nephews. I love how the really pretty and pink apron turned out with the lace around the pocket, and it is reversible. If you wanted to wear it on this side, you certainly could. But I really like how this one turned out with the yo-yos. Those are so easy to make. They're circles that you just gather, and I think it turned out so nice. And of course I love the ones for my grandsons. We're going to go over to their house in a little while and give 2 of them their aprons, and I need to measure the older boys because they're a little bit taller. But you need to measure from their neck right about here to right below their crotch, or between the crotch and the knees is where you want to measure for when you make your pattern for aprons. But again, this is a great way to recycle those old jeans. These were my husband's work jeans. These were the back panels that weren't messed up. Usually the front of the jeans is what gets all the wear and tear. But I always, when he gives them to me, I cut them all apart. I save the good pieces. I save all the pockets. And this is a great way to use that up. So let's head on over to the grandson's house and let him do some modeling for you. Right, this apron fit this grandson perfectly. No adjustments needed here, and he gives it 2 thumbs up. This little fella who loves to help Mama cook, his straps needed to be cut, and then we're just going to tie his apron on. And this one really just right out of the bathtub, he loved his apron. I am going to have to adjust that strap for him, but all in all, it was a great success. So they're a big hit. They can help out Mama now and cook during the holidays. They're all ready. Stay tuned next week for part 2 of we're going to be making adult aprons, and we're going to be using some feed sacks, and then we're going to make some pretty aprons with our Waverly prints, and these also make great Christmas presents. Thank you for watching. Please make sure to leave any questions in the comments below, and as always, have a blessed day.